Hello and welcome to my channel. We could all use a hug now and then, don't you agree? And that's what I've got for you today. A card, actually, that sends a card full of hugs. It's this little spin and reveal card. As you can see here, you've got this opening and you have your little thumb pull over here that you just move round and round to reveal all the different images, all the little puppies there, all the happy mail, and the great thing about this is you can make it any size, any shape you like, all thanks to the Brother Canvas Workspace software, and of course your ScanNCut. If you'd like to learn how to make this spin and reveal card using Canvas Workspace, then come with me to the computer and I'll show you how. The spin and reveal card, or spin and reveal wheel card if you'd like to call it that, can be any size that you choose, and it's especially easy when you're using the Brother Canvas Workspace, because that means you can make it any size that you like. And you can put it on a rectangular card, a square card, indeed even a round card. That means that you're not restricted to a preset size like you would with a die or even a template. The one that I'm going to be making today and showing you how to do is for a 6x6 card blank. And we'll bring in the shapes first that we're going to need, and that's going to be a square. We'll need some circles. I'll bring in one to begin with. Then we need a wheel. You could bring in something like this circle, or I think I'm going to have one of these scallops. Like that one should be fine. Right? And then, of course, I need an opening for the images to appear. It's going to be the little window, so I'm going to use this wedge. It does not have to be a wedge, and it does not have to be just even one opening. You could have several on your card. It could be any of these shapes that you see. Because what is going to happen is the images will be stamped here on the wheel, and as the wheel turns, the images will come across here. Just bring that in a bit more. You'll see the images as you rotate this come into view inside of that opening. We'll see what that looks like a little later on once we get this all together. So let's get our mechanism front done first. This is a square at the moment. It's just the default size. And because this is going to be on a 6x6 card with a mat that is 5 7/8, make this 5 3/4. Put some color in there so we can see it a bit better. And then we need a cutout so that we will have a little notch in here that the wheel then can be grabbed by the edge and spun around. So I need this circle then for that. I'll make some more circles as well. So have those ready. And for this, I just need about 1 inch. And I'll place it on the side here. You don't have to have it on this side. You could have it at the top if you wanted. You could even have it at the bottom or on the left-hand side. But I'm going to have it here. And what I'm going to do is just select both of those shapes and align them in the middle. Then I can come in and take a closer look as to where I actually want it. And I can notch it out like that. Bring that maybe a little further out here. Doesn't really matter. It's just whatever your preference is. And then I can select both of those, go to Process, Overlap, and Subtract. And that will cut out the notch. So if I go back to the mat there, you'll see that once you place that wheel behind there, you'll see that you can spin it round inside of there and grab that edge. Okay. Well, we've got a couple more things we need to do here before we get to that point, and that is we need to have an opening here in the middle for our split pen or brad, which is going to be attached to the wheel and then to a spinning disc, which will actually turn the wheel round. For that, we need another circle. I'm going to send that to the back. And this is going to be a very tiny circle. In fact, it's going to be about, I think I'll put it at 1.6 inches. 1.6 inches. And then select those and align to the middle and to the center. And then select it all, and I could either subtract it, in which case it's going to punch that hole out through in the middle, but I'm going to use the divide, and I get the same result. It's just that it's going to leave behind that 0.16 inch circle that I'm going to need at least 2 more times. All right. So now we have the opening for the brad. Next is the aperture. This is the opening or the window for the images, and I'm just going to turn that so that it's in the right orientation. And let's see, that should be good. So it's pointed down. And as you can see, it's coming at the default size, so it's way too large. So I'm going to play with the height on this and the width. Let's try 2.5. I think I'll take that off. Oops. Let's try that. $2.90. So I'm going to just undo that. Okay, so So I'm going to just play with that height just a bit. That should be about right. Let's center that. And I'll select those shapes and then use the subtract to cut that out. So now we have our wheel is going to go behind and our images will appear inside. So that means we can make our wheel, which will give some color to it. We can make that 5.5 inches so that when I align those all together, and place them to the back, like that. Then we can now place the hole for the brad inside of this circle. I'm going to divide it. And now that will sit behind here, like that. This will spin round like so. Now for the wheel to spin, we need a disc. This is the spinning disc, and that is not a very large circle, so I'm going to make that about 1.5 inches. And I'll place a hole in the middle, like that. I'm going to use process overlap and divide. And I'm going to use this remaining circle here to make some reinforcements. And I'm going to place those here over that opening where the brad is going to go through, because that's going to get a lot of stress from spinning round and round. So I want to just reinforce it like those little reinforcement circles that you get for notebooks, things like that. So I'll take that and offset it, and 0.08 should be good. It's beveled, right? And then I can, oops, I want to divide it, and I can get rid of that circle now because I don't need that. And if I put some color on this, you'll see that that is going to go over top of that circle. So I'll make some copies of that, because I can layer those up. Just align them. Right, and then we have our spinning disc, which is going to go to the very back here. Send that to the back, and this is going to come into the on top of that spinning disc. We have all those pieces complete, and that really is it. Now, I'm going to bring in some images so that you can get an idea of how this is going to work. So I'll go to File and Import and bring in some images. I've got some here that are PNG files. These little cute kittens here. So I'll bring in those, and then I'll be right back. Right, so just group those. This should give you an idea of how this will work. These images will be distributed around the wheel, and you can have really as many as you like. I'm just going to use these 4 to give you the idea of how this would work. I need to be sure that they are pointing towards the middle, because when they get to the top, they need to be in this direction. And when I get ready to put these images, the stamped images, that is, on the wheel, I'll actually mark out where I'm going to place them, rather than just sort of guessing like that. So let's go ahead and just group all those. Get to the back. Our mechanism is going to be placed over top. And as we spin the wheel, just come in a little bit closer for you. Then the kittens will appear. And that is the spin and reveal wheel card. So now all I need to do is send this to the machine to be cut. I can leave these images actually on here because they will not print or cut, so they don't even have to be deleted off of here. I'll just place those inside of that red bounding box. I can go to export, and I get the warning that tells me that the image data will not be exported or transferred with the cut data, which is fine, and I can transfer it to the machine. So that is the mechanism completed, and all that needs to be done now is to put the card together. I've cut the cardstock for the card blank, which is 6 by 6, so this measures 6 by 12. I'm simply going to score it right down the middle at 6 inches. And then I can fold and burnish that. And for my mat, I have this piece of American Craft cardstock, and this is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. That's going to leave me just a smidgen, really, of a white border. Get that down next. So it's very, very little. Okay, now we can set that aside and start to put our mechanism together. So I've got those pieces cut out. I've got the top piece, I've got the wheel, and I also have the spinning wheel as well. And what I've done is I've just cut out 3 of those so that I can actually stack them together. Give me a little more height as well. So I'm going to place these together. My stamps here, which I'm going to take over to my stamping platform, and I'll stamp those on there, and then as soon as those are done and I've colored them in, I'll be right back. So I've got my top part of the mechanism. I need some brads, or I need a brad, I should say. I'm going to and then this will spin round like so. Okay, so my images are going to go in here. What I can do is just hold that down there like that. I can just lightly mark where the parameters are. Oops. I can always go back and rub those lines out. So we can just go to the next one, which will be here. There's the outermost edges. That I'll just continue on around, marking where those placements will be. That's the last one there. I can start assembling this now. Put all my bits and pieces in. I've got all my colouring done. And my brad is here. And before I put that through, I'm going to pull out these little reinforcements here. And I can place them over that hole there. I've already put the foam tape on the back of these pieces, my sentiment, and then I've got my little post box here, the letters strewn about, so that is going to go down here in the corner. And we have this. So I'm going to place along there like that. Right. We've got our brad. It's going to go through the center here into our wheel, and then our spinning disc like that. So those, just take that split pin, open it up like that, and that's going to be put on the front of this, and we'll be using more foam tape on the back of this. So I'm going to cut some of this up. Place that in the corners. I don't want any on my wheel that has to spin like that. You don't want it to catch either on those corners. That. These backing papers off. Just put a little bit of glue on here as well. You could put a bit of foam tape there as well if you like, but I've actually raised that up already, so place that on the front. There we are. Just press that into place. You could draw an arrow here if you like, show to spin it, but there is your spinning card, revealing wheel, yeah, puppies, You spin me round, baby. Right round, baby. And you can always have other images in there if you like. So there we are. It's not meant to spin loosely, so just take your time going round. Like so. I think I'll stop right there. Good. There is our reveal and spin, or spin and reveal, whichever you like. And it really wasn't difficult, especially after you have your mechanism all ready for you, thanks to your file in Canvas Workspace. Thank you so much for joining me today for this tutorial on how to use Canvas Workspace to create the mechanism for any spin and reveal card. I'd invite each and every one of you who's not already subscribed to my channel to do so today, and be sure to hit the notification bell. Click on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any future videos that I post. In the meantime, please stay safe and crafty hugs. Bye.